Previously on the Sodor Railway.
Big Grandpa, said Sir Handel. Yes, Falcon. There's one problem. What is it? How did Bertram come to the railway? I do not know. Hello everyone, I have a train to take tomorrow from Grosvenor Gate over to the Blue Mountain Railway, so I'll be having to sleep here tonight. Bertram? Well, you see... how did you come to this railway, Bertram? I was trying to finish off the mid-hour stories from the mid-Sodor. However, I don't know how you came to the island. No, this railway. Well, you see, it's a bit of a long story.
It was right after I had become a bit nervous when I was going to help the mines at Skarloey. The miners, well, they weren't that happy that I went to go and help another mine that wasn't part of our mine. They told me off about helping them when I got back there. Why did you go and help out the Skarloey mines? You belong here. I was sent to work over there. Well, even if you're sent over there, you should not be helping them, because now we're going to have lost some of our... well, some of the money we'll be earning from this. Oh dear, I said. I was not very happy that they were grumbling at me. They had never been rude to me before. Don't worry, Bertram. At least it could have been worse, said Cora. I suppose so, said Bertram. I then puffed out of the mines. However, every single day after that, they would mock me. Over and over and over again. I really wish they weren't as rude then, like it was out of my control. Cora was the only one that would care for me at the time, and I was quite happy that she would care for me, and even when I was getting mocked, she would stand up for me. Something that I was a bit nervous to do at the time. Those were the days when she would stick up for me, even when I shouldn't have been stuck up for. Oh, quiet down, Bertram. Of course you should have been stuck up for. Oh, Duke. Let me just carry on with the story. Sorry. Anyway, it was getting to the point where it's unhandleable for me. You might remember me talking to you about it, Duke. I remember rushing out the mines that one morning to go and talk to you. I had to get out of there before the miners came and began to insult me again. I specifically remember you were outside your shed. I'm pretty sure Stanley beat you to the shed, so you had to sleep out there. Anyways, when I got to your shed, the conversation played out. Hello, Bertram. What are you doing away from the mines this early? Well, Duke, I have a bit of a problem. Oh, you can tell me your problem, Bertram. Well, yeah. Don't tell me it's about the mine. Don't tell me it's about the miners again, said Duke. The miners? How do you know that? Said Bertram. Well, I heard they're bringing in some new miners, and they aren't that happy about it. The older miners, but they are doing it still. But they think But they also think because you went to help out at the Custody Hallway mines, you are going to try and close the older mines. I would never try and do that, said Bertram. Plus, it's my home. Why would I want to destroy my own home? I know it's outrageous. Almost as if they don't want you there anymore. But what can be done to prevent this, Duke? I have no idea. Little did I know in our conversation, the miners had gotten to work and they realised that I wasn't there, so they had to send out for another engine. We were stuck there talking for about an hour. Little did I know an engine would soon be arriving. Well, I don't know, Duke. I don't think that plan will work either. Well, we need a plan first on how to convince the miners that you can go to the other mines, only because it was ordered by the other mines and Jordan Edwards. I suppose so. Say, Duke, has Bertram exited the mines because he much rather his life on the railway? I wouldn't blame him. It's much better on here than it is over on those old mines. Oh, number 2, answered Duke. However, I was going to get payback at Stanley for saying that. Well, Stanley, who's going to the mines right now? You are, obviously. Then why are you taking trucks from the slate mines? Well, oh, I wish you didn't say that. And I remember Stanley rushing away in anger, and the two of us laughed because I was able to get him back. Oh, Bertram, that was a good comeback at him. I know, Duke, I know. I remember Atlas, Alfred and Jason telling me he didn't get along with anyone that day at the mines. I remember I had to go and do his work while he was there. I remember them telling me that he was groaning when he was finally able to exit. The miners didn't like him, and neither did Richard. Well, to be fair, Richard was a faceless boiler that kept the mines warm for the miners. But it still had the ability to talk, which was a feature that was mainly featured on much older locomotives. More like Sun Parade, Novelty, Perseverance, and of course the Rockets and Sun Parade, but it was more of a rare sight those days. Stanley, on the other hand, well, he even had to get some help from the other mines because of all his crashes. I remember Jason telling me he was sent out to go and help Stanley, and when he finally got there, he was bursting out in laughter. He saw Stanley derailed. Oh, why? I have no idea why he decided to derail himself. Oh, look, it's Stanley. The engine was derailed again and again, and he's derailed again. That's what Jason said to me, that he said to you, it's Stanley. Stanley was not all that heavy though. It's not my fault, he said. It's my gauge. However, we were all pretty certain he purposely did it. The miners said that he would have derailed himself just to get out of work at one point before his incident, so they believe he purposely did it, and that was, if we're going by if Stanley was actually telling the truth most of the time. that if Skage was actually trying to derail him, this time he purposely derailed himself. There were some slight difficulties derailing him. Oh my, I didn't mean to do that, Sunny, I'm so sorry! Ah! You broke my side tank! They decided to leave. Luckily his side tank wasn't actually broken, it was just a bit tinted. But he felt a bit of too much pain there, so he thought it was broken. Anyway, they left the truck there so it would trigger Sunny a bit more. And by the end of the day, he was groaning out. Oh! Ah! He would say and groan. Luckily my day was much better. I even came across John, who was getting ready to, well, couple up to his to some coaches. I rarely ever saw him do that, let alone rarely ever see him go by my mind spelling coaches. Oh, hello, John, I said. Oh, hello, Bertram. Another nice day seeing you. How are you enjoying Stanley's work? Well, I don't really enjoy it as much as my work. Yes, while the miners aren't the nicest at the moment, at least I get a break. I have been going backwards and forwards with no brakes on my wheels at all. I understand that. It seems that everyone's been hearing about the mines. Oh, really? Yes, they've been saying the miners haven't been the nicest to you, which is a bit outrageous. Like, you're the one that runs the mines. Without you, they would struggle to carry the slates, let alone take the slates to the locations they need to go. I quite agree with you, John. It's outrageous. Why do they put me off as if I'm useless, when all I'm doing is taking the slates for them, which they probably could not handle, even if they try to. Without me, the mines wouldn't function properly, without them getting hurt. They should be thanking me for helping them, not being extremely angry. That's the point, Bertram. Why are they so rude to you when you're the one that does all the work for them on carrying slates? I know! Even Cora says that. Well, once you're done with this work, I'm sure you will give them a good talk. I'm sure I will. However, I didn't properly get the chance to without having some help. Unfortunately, the next day I was sent to work at the Casney Hoary mines. Another incident that wasn't shaped too well on my minds. Well, we can't really call it an incident, mainly an inconvenience. Anyway, when I got there, the engines were already set. I was as strong as all three of them combined, so that I was sometimes sent there to help out with the loads. Hello, I'm here to help. Oh, we're so glad you're here, Bertram, Atlas said. Come on, Bertram. Jason and Atlas will be working at your mines while I show you about. I'm so excited to work at a new mines. That isn't just this one. You've worked at my mines before, Jason. Yes, I know. Anyways, come on, Jason. We have some work to do. Okay, Atlas, I'm coming. And then they left. Needless to say, he was astonished at my performance. I pulled the 4 trucks with ease, where usually he and his brothers would usually struggle a little bit. He was outstanding by the performance. I'm just going to say that because I forgot what the other word was. Anyway, that was the thing, but he was outstanding, that's what it was. Wait, no, astonished. He was astonished at the performance, and he even requested a new engine would be brought to the mines that had the strength of me. Sadly, they never brought an engine that was like, that had the strength of me, but at least they actually had help from me. And luckily, things didn't turn out too well for Alfred. A careless workman left his lamp on the tracks, and when Alfred ran over it, he derailed himself. The metal was able to hold his weight, and while he broke the entire glass and lighting system, it still didn't turn out too well for him. He was off the rails, and his back, I think it's left wheel. His back left wheel, yes, back left, got damaged. So we had to get another engine. Well, Alfred was one of the strongest engines on the railway. They couldn't send Stanley, so they ended up having to send 2 engines. And well, they sent probably 2 of the worst engines that could have arrived there. Oh, Albert, be quiet, we have a job to do, says the engine that is all that got grumpy because of me. Okay, Albert, be quiet, we have work to do. Then let's get to work. I have no time for nonsense where we don't work when we must. And Albert puffed away to do his work. I'm so sorry, Bertram. Albert's like that now. Oh, it's alright, Falcon. I will say though, he's getting a bit suspicious if you ask me. Well, he is a little bit suspicious and more imposing than usual. Yes, he is a bit more imposing. We has a bit of a silence, wondering what if something bad might go wrong. Eventually the work died down a little, so I could go back to my, now I was able to go back to my own mines. I was so happy to see Cora again. Oh, so good to see you again, Cora. It makes a bit of a change from, let's see, doing mine work at the Cassidy Hall with mines, or even putting Alfred's goods. Yes, it's good to Stanley's goods. Yes, well, it is nice to see you again, Bertram. Except what? Jason was playing about here. Oh no, I don't like where this is going. So, in classic Jason fashion, I'll say, well, he caused a ton of the trains to be delayed. Oh no, not again. First Stanley causes issues, now Jason. Well, what do you expect from a young engine? They want to have fun, so you can't really blame them. I suppose you're right, Cora. So, because of that, Jordan Edwards has decided to send one more engine to help out at the mines. One that is very, very experienced with goods. And who might that be, Cora? That engine is me. Oh my Smudger, I have not seen you in a while. Yes. Even if me, you and Stanley have identical faces. But that does not matter. Time to get to work. If these trucks play up, then they have no idea what's going to make them behave. Okay. Not a fan of the attitude. Smudger did the work outstandingly. He was also one of the strongest engines on the railway. Easily top 10, and well, or at least top 6 or 7. Me and Cora were astonished every time he pulled the trucks. He seemed to pull them with ease. We, at the time, like I said, we thought he was one of the strongest engines on the railway. Apparently he wasn't. He was just very skilled on taking trucks. Then he was sent back to his normal work once we didn't need his help anymore. Before me and Cora got back to work, we had a little bit of a chat. Well, there's at least the work's caught up in again, Cora, I said. Yes, at least it's caught up again. I think you may have to get back to work though. You have got a mind to run, you know, said Cora. And no trying to one-up Smudger. He's very skilled when it comes to pulling trains. So do not try and one-up him. Is that clear? Cora said it very specifically and angrily. I understood, but I already had that idea and I wasn't going to do it. But then she had to mention it, and now I was obsessed with it. Every single day after that, I tried to one-up Smudger. Don't do it, Cora would always say. You know it'll end bad. Richard would always say, but one day I was taking cover with me with the sleigh train, and I tried it. Oh, come along. The trucks tried to hold back. No. And I was picking up speed, and I soon found Smudger. If you're trying to one-up me, don't try it, Smudger said. Oh, sorry, Smudger, but I am, I said. That's it, I'm going to try and put my brakes on, Cora said. This was long before she was a Guards fan, and she forgot that she wasn't, so nothing happened. Oh, hey, Bertram. Are you going to I'm going over to Casino with mine to take a special. What you doing? Sorry, you're busy, no run away kind of thing, Jerry. Okay, wow, I see you're busy with your own stuff. Okay, I'm going to go and take that special now. I really hope no one's taken that special. I really wanted to pull it. Hey, Jerry. You took him the special, didn't you? Yes. But you were trying to take the special from me. I was told to take it. Okay, you have a fair point. I was wanting to take the special because I wanted to feel special, since I have not been feeling that happy recently. Okay, Jerry, come with me. I got a special job for you that you can help me with. Really? Yes, come with me. Come along, we're coming a long way. I would sing to the trucks, and well, it did not work. They were singing in a very certain tune that did not sound very good. We're coming along, we're coming along. Oh, Bert, oh, Burley, stop. Cora would keep on saying. Oh, come along, we got a job to do. We're coming along. Hey Bertram, oh my, why are you trying to wind up Smudger? You know you can't be as skilled as him. How do you know I'm trying to wind up him? 'Cause no one tries and wind up Smudger unless they're insane. Quite right. Yes, quite right. Oh, why is he trying to one-up Smudger? Doesn't he know that you can't one-up him when it comes to pulling trucks skillfully? Quite right. Whoa, wahoo! I'm enjoying this train. Well, we're not. No, but I'm trying to wind up Smudger. Please behave. Let's give him a run for his money, said the second truck. Yeah, said the other trucks. No. Bertie, they're trying to. Before I can finish the sentence, before I went, wee-hee! Hello, Farmer Elm. Goodbye, Farmer Elm. And I rushed on. Oh no, my animals are set loose. Oh, I really hope this train won't crash while I'm going in reverse, because I can't see, as I don't have the face of my cab, unlike the cozy Phil engines. But I really hope I do not crash. I've never put a train in reverse before. Hopefully I will not crash. Stop, a train's ahead, a workman said. A train? What is this certain train? Oh no! I closed my eyes as I rushed into sight, and then... Whoa, Bertram! Don't do stuff like that! You almost ruined my train! Now I have to get new coaches! Sorry, Bertram. However, it was not work out well. Jennings' driving fireman they tried to close down my mines. Luckily we stayed open and just had just enough money to pay it off. But unfortunately the mines weren't as lucky. After that incident, the mines gained a bad reputation. This was mainly because of that little bit of a thing they had to pay off. The work carried out as usual, but we got way less contracts. The mines worked out as normal. Exploding a gunpowder fan to make more holes in the mines worked out as normal. Everything was normal, apart from the amount of work that was done. I began to get used to less and less and less, till I was only ever pulling one truck full of a load. It was not very nice. Me, Bertram, an engine that was always very brave, determined and confident, was now an engine that was sad and just wanted everything to go back to normal at the mines. It was beginning to make me think of the time where I was talking to John, if you remember earlier in the story. I was talking to John. Eventually, I just decided to accept what was happening. The mines began to hustle and bustle a bit more during the time of Albert's reign of terror, I'll say, but it was nowhere near the amounts that used to happen. Well, by the time it was happening, It was already too late. Bertram's driver had taken the slate, well, piece of coal slate or whatever you want to say. He took it, and well, he did the thing that you all know what happened. He charged at me, crushed me. I was knocked out. I didn't know anything that had happened after that. I was sent to the works, but the mines were completely closed for the entirety I was at the works for. I helped out on the railway before I went back to the mines, but it was already February 12th by the time I got back to the mines. It was the next year, it was the year right after the incident. It was not the anniversary, but the year afterwards, and it was February 12th, and the mines had just reopened again. It was in a disastrous state. Nothing seemed normal. I tried to work as hard and as hard and as hard as I could. I worked when I broke down. I worked when I nearly broke down. I worked as hard as I could. But in the end, there was just no Smudger or Stanley or even Duke, and in the end, I just could not do it anymore. I was even beginning to show my age, and I was still fairly young. But but by the time I was beginning to work as hard as I was, my parts were beginning to worn down. They weren't used to being worked off as really hard to the point where they are unusable, and that's exactly how I got. The mines nor Jordan Edwards could afford new parts for me, so all I did was just roll with it, puffing down the line with no new parts, on the edge of breaking down. Cora always tried to improvise, but no matter how much she tried, it would never work. I remember one day when I was going over to the harbour, Cora said, "Oh, Bertram, just because you're working off hard does not mean you should strain yourself. But I have to if I want the mines to stay open." I was delivering a load for a shipment that was going over to England. It was to be taken by ferry by Gerald, the boat. I usually saw him at the harbour. He was always ready to take away any goods I had. "Oh, hello, Bertram. Why are you looking a bit down?" The work, Gerald. It's just not, it just doesn't seem worth it anymore. The mines aren't as fun as they used to be. No one wants to lead from our mines. They find Kesney Hauling to be a much better option. I understand that. I remember back where I used to work. They did not like me. They would much rather have used more modern boats and, well, much more better technology. But you work marvellously. I may do, but the people that used to own me didn't see it that way. They thought I was a useless floating tree, which is what they once called me. I have no idea why I had some respect for them, despite them always treating me horribly. Ah, well, Gerald, at least you're still in working service, am I right? Yes, but I'm afraid I might go out of service. I'm getting too old for this. Out of service? Too old? But you work perfectly. Oh, but you see,
My engine, it's not as good as it used to. I'm afraid that I cannot work as well as I used to, and now I just struggle to pull loads like you do. I don't know why the engines on the North Western Railway can't take loads, because their connection is at the transfer yards, right over the old iron bridge. Yes, I know, but it's just not fair. You should not be struggling, or be retired, or taken out of service. You've been taking my loads for years upon years, and are much more efficient than the engines on the standard gauge railway, as you can go pretty much anywhere, and you're just a much better option. I can't go pretty much anywhere. As long as there's water, I can go there, and as long as it's big enough for me, I also can go there, but oh, I don't know, Bertram. I can't keep on doing this work. Please, Gerald. I know you're owned by England, but I'll see if Jordan Edwards or anyone on Sodor could buy you. That would be nice, but I don't know. Oh, come on, don't talk like that. Just because you think you're outdated, old, and cannot be used does not mean that's true. You can be used, and who knows, maybe you could be a museum piece at the Sodor Museum for who used to take all the slates for this very mine. You have a good point, Cora, but oh, I don't know, I'm too old for this work. Rubbish! No one's ever too old for anything. You should have said that. If you said that to my old owner, he would have disagreed completely. From how you describe him, he sounds like he would. Anyways, is the loads on? Yes, it is, Gerald, I said happily. Okay. Is everyone ready? Yes, we are, said all the workmen on Gerald. Gerald away! Gerald's such a fun boat, I said as he exited. Thank you. And I had no idea at the time that would be the last time I'd see him. Apparently he broke down on his way to the mainland. Luckily he did not sink and was brought by the Topham Hatt, but he now is at the Sodor Museum, which I have not seen him since. It's a miracle he's still in peace, he's still together after all these years. He's already over 100 years old. Anyway, I went back to the mines, but little did I know the next day would be the day that changed the Mid-Sodor and its history for me for pretty much ever. I had no idea this day would come, let alone this day could even happen. When I got back, I put Cora on beside me, and well, I was about to have a bit of a chat with her again, like I usually do, when the manager of the mines came up. Luckily, he and the workmen have been behaving much better, and they understood that sometimes other mines need help. I'm sorry, Bertram and Cora, said the manager, but we cannot afford to keep the mines running anymore. What? That's outrageous! He's right. I'm sorry, but with the little work we have now, we can't keep on doing it. Casney Hauling is making much more money than we ever could now. It used to be even, but now we can't do anything. I'm so sorry, Bertram and Cora, but these mines are closed. I'm afraid the last train you took will be the last one you'll ever take on from this mine. But, no buts.
Farmer Elm and some other people have already tried to buy the mines. They were very considerate, but we kindly disagreed. They would not. We knew that even if they bought it, they would not be able to keep it alive long enough for the shipment to go up again. Either way, it's either we merge with the Casnihori mines, which would probably be a bit of a danger in itself because there are two different mines using different types of slates, or we just let the mines close. I suppose you're right, said Bertram. So, are we now part of the Mid-Sodor Railway? Yeah, are we part of Jordan Edwards Railway? Cora, you are part of Jordan Edwards Railway, the Mid-Sodor Railway. Now, he's brought you, but he's still thinking about Bertram. He has brought you, Bertram, but he's deciding whether he should try and keep you. He's on tight money at the moment as well, and he does not have he's struggling to keep the railway open. So you have a chance on being sold. Oh no, I said. I do not want to be sold. And the very next day I was put up for sale. All sorts of people came to buy me. Even the people from the Tannin Railway, and well, not the Tannin Railway, it's from a different railway in Scotland. They were mistakenly said to be from the Tannin Railway, which has also probably been mispronounced as Tallinn instead of Tallyclin, but it's been said as Tallinn. And well, they could not buy me. Eventually, I was not brought. This is sort of where I think you all lose the track on what happened, apart from how I got found. Well, after this, my driver and fireman got in me, and I steamed away one last time. They knew exactly where to put me, where I would never be found, where I could be saved and preserved by them if I ever needed to. If they were going to a new railway, they could preserve me if it was the right gauge. So they took me to an old place I had not been to in years. I knew it was going to come to this one day where I might return to these specific mines, but they took me to one of the oldest mines on the Mid-Sodor. My old mines. My newer mines on the new Mid-Sodor was just called Bertram's mines, but since this part of the older railway closed, it was renamed to Bertram's old mines. I stayed here for years. I took many naps, and a lot of time passed. I would sometimes wake up at night, but on the first night I was there, I was worried, sad. Oh, I'm so worried. It was then I heard a whistle. I do not recognise it. I had never heard it before. Who is there? Who's there? I knew coming here was not a good idea. Now I'm all scared. Why do the older places have to be the more scary ones? Keep it down. Which engines are trying to sleep, you know. Proteus, that was where the whistle was coming from. Yes, I decided to go with the new whistle. Oh, well, hello. Look, Bertram, I understand you being sad that you're here, and you may not get found for like a million years, right? But you have to keep brave, Bertram. Just because the mines are gone and you're no longer part of the Mid-Sodor does not mean you are forgotten. Help will come soon, whether it takes whether it takes an hour or millions of years. I understand, Proteus. You will be found and preserved one day. But for now, that's not going to happen. Goodbye, Bertram. Hope you have a nice couple years here. I hope you enjoy your time. Hopefully I can visit you now and then. Well, please do. I need some help getting to sleep these nights. Luckily, he came every single night and would always tell me stories of when he was alive. Then, well, Proteus's ghost always came and told stories to me about when he was alive and other stuff like that, and he would always send me to sleep. And then, I'm pretty sure he would always disappear as a happy ending. But that's not where it ends. There's a bit more to how I got found than you may think. Very little people around here knows this, but when Toby came to, well, my mind sat on his first night, I was waiting for Proteus to come to tell me the next story he had. It wasn't arriving yet and he was running a bit late than usual. But I saw Toby. He did not see me. But I decided to try and talk to him. Hello? Hello? Whoa, who's there? Who's there? Hello? Hello? Don't worry, Toby, said his driver and fireman. We'll go and see what it is. Okay, but do hurry. When the driver and fireman found me, they were astonished to have found an engine that hasn't been seen in years. Who might you be? Asked Toby's driver. I'm Bertram. I'm waiting for Proteus to come and tell me stories. You mean Proteus the magic engine? The one that fell off the old iron bridge? But isn't he, you know? Yes, but he's a ghost. So you frighten away the ghosts. Well, don't worry. We won't get in your way. But he doesn't scare them away. I don't scare them away. Oh dear. He tells me stories. Can we go back, driver, please? Yes, we can, Toby. Yes, we can. Phew. However, he came back night after night after night. He was getting more and more scared every time Toby came. Who's there? He would always say, even if I didn't talk. Eventually, one night though, when Proteus was running late again, I decided to talk again. Hello? Hello? Who are you? Don't hurt me. Oh, that's probably the old warrior, said Toby's driver and fireman. We're coming. They came with a bucket of water, or a couple buckets, well, 2 to be exact, and 2 bags of coal. They filled my coal bunker up and put water in my boiler and began to heat up my firebox. Driver, fireman, where have you gone? Toby said. We're giving you a surprise. You'll find out who the voice is. Why can't you just tell me now? Said Toby. We want it to be a surprise. Oh no, I heard Toby say. I do not want to see a scary surprise. I blew steam out my cylinders. I blew my whistle. However, it did give Toby a fright. However, it was unintentional. Ah! Who's there? Driver, fireman, come back! But with one puff and huff and chuff and even more, I steamed out from the shed. This, Toby, is the old warrior, Bertram. Excuse me, Bertram? You mean the Bertram? You mean the engine that got put in a certain mine because, well, the mine's closed? Wait, I'm famous? That's my first Bertram. Of course you are. You're the old warrior. Everyone says since you went missing that you disappeared into thin air, and that you've been fighting off all types of ghosts. Well, I've been here all these years, and your driver environment didn't listen, but I have a ghost that visits me every single night that helps me go to sleep, and his name is Proteus. You know, the engine that fell off the old iron bridge. Oh my, you know Proteus? Of course I do. It's kind of sad that he's gone, but it is sad that he's gone, but at least he still knows about us and visits us. Skarloey, Reneus, Duke, Peter, Sam, Sir Handel, everyone on the narrow gauge railway will be so happy to see you. Even Duncan, Rusty, Fred, I vote you. Well, that's Mr. Hugh. His full name's Ivo Hugh. Who's Rusty, Duncan and Fred? So Toby explained to me who they were, and well, when I finally got to the railway, I remember it took about a year to, well, restore the mines. However, with everyone's help, it was restored. Then I got repainted into a new orange livery where I was an assistant, and they gave me a new tender as well. I pulled demonstration trains, and I remember on the first one I saw the entire Skarloey fleet. Apparently the Fred that Toby was talking about was called Mr. Fred. I even got to meet Mavis. Oh, hello, you must be Mavis. Hello, I'm Mavis. You must be Bertram. You're very famous. Well, thank you, Mavis. And I see you brought Henrietta, Toby. Yes, I have. Oh, hello, Bertram. You're very famous. Yes, I know. When I first saw Duke, I smiled. His old face was very, well, nice to look at. It was very sweet and calm. It looked like days had gone past since, like years had gone past since he was last found, and since the railway closed, because I think I heard it closed. And let alone he's still running. However, when I was about to set off again, I saw Proteus. He was in his younger look, but I'm sure only I saw him, because everyone else was looking at me. I puffed towards him, and as I did, he disappeared, and first began my first out of the new trains. And that is how I came to this railway. Bit of a wild story and ride, but I'm happy I got here. Eventually I was painted brown along with my tender. Too bad it's at the works, and it has been for the past couple of years. Anyway, it's nice that I'm on this railway. As much as I liked the Sodor, this is my home. I belong here, and I always will. Thank you, Bertram. That's just what we needed to hear. Now the Sodor Railway is complete. We know all the stories. Those are part of the main series, of course. Hopefully Sodor Expanded Stories will carry on the series. Yes, and hopefully that will release soon. Be quiet, Falcon, I'm trying to sell here. But it's true. Sodor Expanded Stories will be expanding on the older series with more modern episodes that will take place in maybe only season 3 and 4, because there's other seasons that need a bit more of a, updating, mainly season 3, but Oh, alright Falcon, mid-Sodor expanded stories will be coming. It's just because some of you were asking in the comments section if of Everything Must Come to an End, where Jason ended up. He did end up in the Sodor Museum. I'm so sorry for not mentioning that. I must have got it lost. So he went to the railway that Alice and Alfred did, and then went to the Sodor Museum with them. But now we know the entirety of the Mid-Sodor Railway's history. Oh. Thank you, Bertram, for sharing this story. You're welcome now. May I get to sleep? I've only came here to sleep for that one, so I could just take that one train. Yes, Bertram, I think we all need it after a wild end to a series. And Duke and all the engines, including Bertram, went to sleep with a wild story where they all now know how the Mid-Sodor Railway's most notable brother probably joined the Skarloey Railway.